Our story starts on a holiday in the city of Rome. Crowds of people cheered the return of Julius Caesar, who had won a battle in Spain. However, the day passed to be a yearly holiday, to a day to honor the god Lupercus. There was to be a foot race, and people had decorated all the statues in the city. Meanwhile, near to the spot where the race would start, Caesar spoke to his wife Calpurnia.
Stand right in Mark Antony's way when he runs.
I will.
Then he spoke to Mark Antony.
Be sure to touch Calpurnia as you run. They say this will grant a woman many children.
I remember. Suddenly, while Caesar was creating his strategy, someone from the crowd called Caesar.
Caesar, Caesar, beware the Ides of March!
After seeing the man who was calling him, Caesar looked at Brutus and spoke to him.
Who is that man?
A soothsayer who tells you to beware the Ides of March.
Bring him here. Let me see his face. What do you say now?
Beware the Ides of March!
While the soothsayer was repeating the same phrase, Caesar decided to ignore him and continue his way. While Caesar and some of his followers went off to the race, Cassius and Brutus stayed behind.
Brutus, my dear friend, have I done something to anger you? You don't seem friendly today.
No, Cassius, it's not you. I have some problems I must deal with. That is all.
I'm sure you will do the right thing, but what is happening?
I'm afraid, Cassius. I'm afraid the people are choosing Caesar to be their king.
So this means that you don't want to happen?
Caesar is my friend, but Rome has to be a republic, not a kingdom of Caesar.
I know what you mean. Caesar has grown too great for Rome, and he is just a human being, not a god. We must do something.
Wait, are you asking me to help you to stop Caesar from becoming a king?
And if I am?
In this case, I will think of what you say and answer you later.
While Cassius and Brutus were talking, they saw Casca, and they decided to pull him aside to talk, while Caesar was observing them suspiciously. However, he decided to ignore him and continue his way with Mark Antony and his wife Calpurnia. Then, Casca joined Cassius and Brutus.
Why did you pull me aside?
We want to know what happened. Why are they cheering?
Caesar was offered a crown?
What?
Yes. However, 3 times Antony tried to place a crown on Caesar's head, and 3 times he refused it. But the crowd cheered when Caesar turned it down. The people love him as a dictator, but they are not ready to accept him as a king.
After that, the 3 men separated their ways with the promise of meeting again to continue discussing their plans of leading citizens to hint that Caesar will make himself king of Rome. That night, with a terrible storm, Casca was out in it and met with Cassius. Then they went to Brutus' house to talk with him. Then they discussed, and the final decision was kill Caesar, and planned to kill him, make him go with them to the capital, and kill only him there, without the protection of Mark Antony and no one else. On the other hand, across the city, Caesar was in his house, and he could not sleep for Calpurnia, who 3 times in her sleep cried out, "Help me!" They murdered Caesar. For that, Caesar ordered a servant to tell the priest to make sacrifices, to know what they say. As the servant hurried away, Calpurnia came into the room.
Caesar, you must not go out of the house today. I've never believed in signs and omens, but awful things have been seen during the night. Ghosts soldiers fought in the clouds, dead men left their graves, spirits screamed in the street. I'm afraid.
These signs are for everyone, not just for me. I am not afraid. Death will come when it has to come.
Then the servant came back and told Caesar that the signs showed that he would not go out that day.
I will not listen. I am Caesar. I'm stronger than danger, and I will go.
Caesar, please no! Tell the senators it is my fears that keep you here. Send Mark Antony to tell them that you are not well today.
All right, don't fear. Mark Antony will tell them that I am not well and I will stay here with you.
Then a plotter from the capital arrived to Caesar's house to take Caesar to the capital. But Caesar told him to take a message to the senators. He will not go that day for the fears of Calpurnia. However, when the plotter heard the fears of Calpurnia, he talked to Caesar and argued him that those dreams of Calpurnia doesn't mean his fault. Those dreams mean that Rome will receive strength and greatness from him. And the senators planned to give him a crown that day, something that Caesar refused, and that's why finally Caesar accepted to go. To refuse again the intention of the senators without knowing what was going to happen there. Then, in the capital, he met with the rest of the plotters, and while the group was going inside the capital, the soothsayer arrived again.
You see, the Ides of March have come.
Yes, but not yet gone. Oh, Caesar, beware!
Even though Caesar didn't listen to the soothsayer's words, some of the plotters were nervous.
Look, it's the soothsayer trying to warn Caesar.
Don't worry, Caesar is still smiling.
If our plan is discovered, I'll kill myself.
Everything's working as we planned it. See, Mark Antony is being drawn away. It is the time.
Finally, the ambush began, and the plotters surrounded Caesar, and Brutus plunged his sword in Caesar's chest, killing him.
Liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead.
Tell the people we have made them free again.
Then the plotters go outside to tell the crowd the reason for their acts, while a servant went to warn Antony about the death of Caesar. Antony rapidly went to the scene and saw the body of Caesar, while the plotters were talking to the crowd, trying to make them believe that Caesar only wants power and their acts are justified. Then, while Antony was with the body of Caesar, he decided to avenge Caesar. Suddenly, while the crowd was celebrating the death of Caesar after hearing the whispers of the plotters, Antony arrived and began to speak. Brutus has told you Caesar was too ambitious, but 3 times you saw me offer Caesar a crown, and 3 times he refused it. Is this ambition? He loved you very much, and you loved him once too, with good reason. Then, with the discourse of Antony, the feelings of the crowd began to change. Now, the crowd began to chant, "They were murderers! Oh, noble Caesar!" Finally, Antony, with the help of the crowd, began a search for the traitors to kill them. Outside Rome, the traitors were camping. They escaped because of the anger of the crowd. The days passed, and the soldiers of Antony arrived. The battle was going to begin. For the traitors, the battle was a massacre. Cassius, worried for his friends, sent a servant to find them, However, the time passed and there were not news.
My friends, I sent him to be captured. Pindarus, my last friend, take this sword, the same one that killed Caesar. When my face is covered, trust it deep in my chest.
Then Pindarus did as he was ordered, and when Cassius felt, his last words were, "Caesar, you were avenged." Just then, his friends returned and had not been captured after all. Sadly, it was too late. Finally, Antony and his soldiers were close to Brutus and his men. Then Brutus spoke.
My time has come. You go, take my sword, straddle it while I run up upon it. Caesar, you were avenged.
Then Antony arrived, and he found the lifeless body of Brutus. Brutus, the noblest Roman of them all. All the others act because they envied Caesar. Brutus alone did what he believed was right. His body shall lie in honor in my tent. We will give him all the respect a noble Roman soldier deserves. With this, our story came to an end.